Referee Ryan Wilson and Brent Cologne getting set to get things kicked off here tonight as the Burlington Chiefs in their home whites, red buckets, will go right to left, working away from starting goaltender Kyle Hebert tonight. His 2-0 record, 4.5 goals against average. While the Beaches will wear their blue jerseys and work left to right. Away from Jackson Brown, he's also got a perfect 2-0 record with a 3.5. Both of these teams tied for first place in Junior A with 4-1 records coming into this evening. So this is your battle for first place. Also with 4 wins tonight, Whitby. Their record, however, 4-3. So the winner following this game will take top spot. Glad to have you with us. I'm Matthew Carrick in for the JVI Sports Network as Ryan Lanchbury, statistical leader for the Chiefs, will put it up top. Back for Smith. These are the top players along with Chris Bougie, who has yet to touch it. As it comes back up top, Trevor Barrett rips a shot just before the shot clock. And the first save out of the way for the Beaches. Not dressed tonight for Burlington, Matthew Weichers, Justin Anasio, Jason Knox, Jordan Aki, and Noah Robinson of those listed on their roster. The Beaches' most notable omission from tonight's lineup is Lane Smith. As another shot comes in, and Hebert. Actually, as we look down, Hebert was listed as the starter, but it looks like Briley Miller is 2-1, 833. The stats for Briley Miller, number 74. Getting the start here this evening. Bailey Brown will back up Jackson in the Beaches net as there's 10 on the Burlington shot clock. They'll take it out from the far boards right out in front, and Boucher shovels it towards the Toronto net. Chris Boucher, a Buffalo Bandits draft pick back in September. As that one nearly got away from Brown, high off the glass. Jackson Nishimura able to pull it down. No Sam Rowe, no Colton Gaunt, no Lane Smith like we talked about, and no Joel Wright for the Beaches here this evening. Skylar Thomas, his second touch of the game so far, as they work it over to the right side, and a sidearm shot taken there. Wide of the net by Josh Dawick. 7 goals, 14 assists so far on the season for Dawick, his second in Junior A. Boucher from up top, pushing it in the corner. Ryan Smith in front. Boucher climbs the ladder right at the crease, and it just a little too wide and high for him to handle. It's played up here by the Beaches. Cam Wires. Busy weekend for the Beach Boys this weekend as they are here in Burlington. Friday night, they will host the Arrows, I believe, at Ted Reeve Arena on the blue carpet they've got this year. As Stephen Lee will first force the turnover for Burlington. And then return home again Sunday evening to play the Brampton Excelsiors. So this could be a very telling week coming up for the Toronto Beaches, who, as we said, currently sit first place. Spin move there out of the corner as it's played back. Nate Braniff to the near side, and a save going stick side to his left. Beautifully done by Jackson Brown to keep this a scoreless game, closing in on 4 minutes gone in this first period. 3 20-minute periods for those of you who are still getting reacclimated to the rules of the summer game. Back near side, a big fake by Skylar Thomas. He'll be pushed outside. Thomas and Devin Maya, a pretty not fair size battle there in favor of Burlington. Now we've got a player who trips on his way to the bench at the blue line. Played far side, a big fake of the shot. They find Lanchbury on the crease, who does get one away in tight. Boucher back with it now. Well, after a great rebound, look at the passing here from the Beaches. Another great save. Jackson Brown is feeling it so far this evening. Beaches back with it. Dawick onto the near side. Mike Burns' shot forced wide. It's going to come all the way back up top for Corson Keeley. And Keeley will chase it down the floor. Trying to beat the shot clock. He just lifts it in on net for Briley Miller. He'll hang on. And Burlington now across center, led by Hunter Lemieux. Pretty good season for Hunter Lemieux. He was an AP last year, coming in full-time here on a Junior A card. We'll see what he can do as he lifts a low shot in on net. Bench arguing that went off Brown, but the shot clock down to 2 seconds now. As just going to skip away from Lemieux for a second opportunity. And 5.5 minutes gone in the first period. Still awaiting our first goal. Beaches taking over. Skylar Thomas in the corner all the way up top. Looking there for Jack Kelly. Another one of the points leaders with his 15 assists out of his 20 points. Recovered in the corner, Taggart Clark. A shot and a goal from right in front. Looks like Josh Dawick there to get his first of the game and his 8th of the season. As the Beaches did nicely to move it around in front. And eventually finding Dawick, who right in the middle of the net. Young players that start their Junior A careers sometimes are afraid to go to that part of the floor. He's been playing a high level of ball, whether it be rep, whether it be junior NLL, whether it be elite, for a couple years now, and very comfortable getting out alone in front of the net. After a brief battle, the Beaches control the ensuing face-off. 1-0 for the Toronto Beaches. As the ball is up for grabs on the far side, trying to get there was Austin Redding, but it's batted back into the zone by Jack Kelly. Kelly will be stuck on the floor here now, as he was a long way from home. Smith. Bushi, we'll see if they recognize on the far side. Jack Kelly and I'm pretty sure it's his brother Rowan. Both really good transition players, so not out of position for Jack Kelly. He'll go to the bench now, though, as it's turned over, and the Beaches running down the far side. Briley Miller standing in, makes the save, and Burlington Chiefs player taken down. It's Dylan LaPrade, who joined this team last year just at the trade deadline. It was a busy deadline for the Burlington Chiefs, as LaPrade came in from Barrie. Sam Rowe, we said, not in the lineup for the Beaches. He was part of that three-way trade that sent Andrew Q from Burlington to Mimico. Another shot handled here by Jackson Brown. Eight minutes nearly gone in this first period. 1-0 off the goal by Josh Dawick to give the Toronto Beaches an early lead. From the corner, Marcus Minicello will flip it back towards the top. A wide shot off the end boards, and here come the Beaches, led by Jacob Saunders. Saunders, the shot off the post, and then diving for it in the crease, looking for the recovery was Minicello again. That may be Brady Kiernan, actually. 23 and 93 in the lineups for the Beaches, and it is Brady Kiernan. It's his sixth game, as it is with the Beaches this season. Nearly finding Hunter Lemieux on the far side. Lemieux just out of his reach. Couldn't touch it, as I believe he ran through the crease, so that'll give the Beaches a free possession here, making their change at the bench. There's one late coming off, and that's going to mean big time trouble for Corson Keeley as he gets taken down Ball pops free, and again the Chiefs were trying to push it out there. Nearly had too many men. Ryan Wilson was right there keeping an eye on the Toronto bench. Good job done. I believe that is Bailey Brown, the backup goaltender, grabbing one of the Beaches players who was about to head out. Another save by Briley Miller, though, off the Toronto shot. And quick off the bench again, Lanchbury taken into the end boards after the shot. Brown did not make the save, so we're still on Burlington's clock here, as now LaPrade will get into the corner first. 8 men in the corner, and the only 2 back out, and Burlington able to find one of them, Nate Braniff. The loose ball caused all kinds of traffic to go in the corner. Nate Braniff stayed back out, and when he saw it was picked up, cut to the net. And that resulted in a breakaway to tie this one up as we near the halfway mark of our opening period. We remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do have 2 of them. The one you're watching this on, and our second channel as well. We'll be posting videos all throughout the summer. You can catch our first full broadcast of the summer from last weekend, the Cobourg Kodiaks and the Brampton Excelsiors in major series action. Our next live game coming your way on June the 2nd as the Kodiaks host the Six Nations Chiefs. Be sure to subscribe and sign up for notifications. 10 on the Beaches shot clock here as we are in Burlington. As Kiernan looks to the corner, they were circling the net, and another ball that hits off a stick of a defender, and the Chiefs are going to send 3 in on the attack, and Boucher gets to the net, runs through the crease as the ball was still loose. He was looking to see if that one went in. A bit of a shoving match as Devin Maya got too close to the yellow paint on the Burlington floor. With the hockey blue lines and the yellow creases, you could maybe argue this is a Beaches home game, but a few Burlington Chief jerseys in the stands, as well as another breakaway. This time Phil Mazuka, his shot off the end boards, the recovery, the shot in the arm save made by Brown, as Austin Redding was right there in good position to make a second opportunity. Now the offense gets a chance to change, as they couldn't quite get the personnel ready on that quick transition. Boucher into the corner for Lanchbury. He was trying to go to the far side, and it was out of the reach of Lemieux off the boards. Bounces straight back where the Beaches are going to get possession, as we've got 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in our first period. Tied at 1. Josh Dawick got things started, then Nate Braniff all by himself off a great loose ball battle. 6:38 left in the period, as 3 Chiefs come off the bench. Boucher over to the far side. Boucher getting it back. Immediate double team there on Chris Boucher. That leaves the crease wide open, and Smith is going to score. Make it 2-1 for the Chiefs, their first lead of the game, as Chris Boucher will get his 12th of the year. That's going to tie Ryan Smith now for tops on the team. Argument in behind whether or not he was in the crease, but Smith jumping to catch that one and then taking the shot. 6:22 left as Jackson Brown calls for the water break. We seem to say this everywhere we go in the summer, a hot arena, as this one nicknamed the Oven for what should be pretty obvious reasons for anyone who's played or watched a game here. Movement from the Beaches face-off man. We'll award it to Nick Fulgenzi, who slides in wearing number 26 tonight, an AP from the Oakville Buzz. Smith will get the left side working. Boucher up top, accepts the pass. Boucher back for Smith, back up top. They go to Boucher in the corner. Looked like the defender stumbled, and Boucher will get another one. Just inside of 6 minutes left to go. It'll be 3-1 now for Burlington. Chiefs starting to roll as there's a stumble by the defender right in front of Bushi. As he picked this one up, trying to roll over the top. And make it 3-1 in favor of the Burlington Chiefs. Close play there is Mitch Gustafson on the faceoff. Looked like he tried to throw it away initially, and it got caught. But it will be Burlington possession now as they get the strip. Smith, far side. Big time shot there from Nate Braniff, already with one. And the back in call as Brown made the save. Rebound tapped back in. Burlington back with it with 5 minutes in the period. Lanchbury to the crease. A number of fakes on the far side. Smith the recovery off the Brown save. And back in again. Pulled through the legs of the Toronto defender. And Jackson Brown there to hold on to it. Bushi to the far side. Bushi. Back Lanchbury in the corner, lets one rip. Not sure Brown was ready for it, but in good position. And another one off an offensive rebound that Burlington picks up and puts in behind Brown. I think that's Hunter Lemieux. This time another rebound goal. And they are giving it to Hunter Lemieux. And what's happening here right at center? Mitch Gustafson throwing off the equipment as he wanted to have a go at Nick Fulgenzi. Fulgenzi had already lost his helmet. Gustafson's being escorted off the floor here. And Fulgenzi goes to the bench as well. They're asking for somebody to the bench, unless it's the captains, to get the explanation here. Not only do we ask you to subscribe and get notifications on our YouTube channel, but also follow us on Twitter at JVI Video for our entire schedule. We'll let you know where we're going to be. This is Fulgenzi going off to the box now. One of the Beach's gloves had ended up in Burlington's bench. So it sounds like a 2 and a 10 for Gustafson. And just straight 2 for Fulgenzi. So we will be 4-on-4. And we're waiting for one more in the box here. Matt Duncan for the Toronto Beaches to serve the Gustafson 10-minute misconduct. We're 4.5 left in the period, which is why Gustafson is able to head to the bench, or to the dressing room rather. Lanchbury far side, quick stick opportunity for Bushi. Played out of the corner here. Brought up far side by the Beaches. It is 4-1 in favor of Burlington with under 4 minutes left to play here in the period. Back to the near side, Keeley. Keeley dives, and that one's gonna hit the roof, a very low hanging roof. here in Burlington. Some of the lights are suspended as Smith goes down the floor, and Smith will make it 5 now. Quick transition again for the Burlington Chiefs. As Ryan Smith, the beneficiary, heading down the floor. And making it 5-1 with 3.5 to go in this first period. The normal face-off men are off the floor right now. Gustafson for the Beaches in the locker room, and Fulgenzi for the Chiefs in the penalty box. And Burlington able to pull this one out. I believe they had Stephen Lee at the dot. Around the back, play there by Damon Curry. We mentioned Justin Anasio. He was absolutely deadly last year for the Chiefs on faceoffs before suffering a broken hand in a high school tournament, as Bushi on the crease took the shot off the shoulder of Brown before it goes up out of play. But Anasio took a little bit to get back into the Burlington lineup last season as well. So we'll see what happens when Anasio, if he does return. Fulgenzi's sprinting across the floor to stay on. And Duncan not sure what the bench wants him to do. He will stay. And a dive play there. Contact made with Miller. Callum Jones in front of his netminder. Jones, a feisty player for the Chiefs. And he gets called to the bench. Captain, also a member of the Oakville Blades Junior A hockey team, which perennially does very well in the OJHL. Backhand shot there from Smith. Save from Brown, and it'll be a 3-on-1 break here for the Beaches. Nick Ellerton with it. Ellerton the shot. Briley Miller with the save quickly in his stick. And the Chiefs are going to take the opportunity to go back the other way. With 1:40, though, the bench wants them to slow things down. Probably counting possessions before going to the room here. Lanchbury into the corner. Bushi to the far side. Lanchbury climbing the ladder. Shot ended up going wide, and then contact on the far side as Lemieux got into his man. It'll be picked up by the Beaches, as they now start counting possessions with 1:18 left in our first period. Skylar Thomas with a pick and roll with Connor Keeley. And Devin Maya picked up that loose ball and then got knocked back into the crease. So the back in call, he goes immediately after the man who made contact with him, as we are in the final minute. Ball to the far side. Maya bypasses the loose ball and takes off down the floor. Pat Cashall gets dumped, and there will be a penalty here. I believe it's Tager Clark, either that or Nathan Grennan, who took down Pat Cashall. 30 seconds left in the period. 12 seconds on the shot clock, as it is a 6-man set for the Chiefs. On the far side, all the way up top for Trevor Barrett. Smith wants it, calling for it. It'll end up in the stick of a Beaches player. And we'll get an illegal cross check, as Nathan Grennan comes out. A wipe down called for. 17 seconds left, and it will be Burlington possession. So Lanchbury, Bushi. They've got Smith in the corner on the near side. They go to the left side now, working through Damon Curry and Hunter Lemieux. Back here for Lanchbury. Mesh rippled, but it was the ball hitting off the back of the net. And 2 seconds left. Beaches are just going to run away with this one and allow the first period to expire. But the Burlington Chiefs got rolling as they take a 5-1 lead after one period of play. We are 4-on-4. I wondered if we were picking up an additional penalty, but we're just 4-on-4 as the, oh no, we're 5-on-4. My apologies. That was the penalty at the end of that first period. Lanchbury up top on the power play. Smith takes a shot as the Burlington Chiefs now working in the end to our right-hand side in front of their own bench. Smith tries a quick shot from the corner as the shot clock about to expire. He'll just place it down on the floor. Smith, one of the goal scorers in that first period, along with Boucher, Braniff, and Hunter Lemieux. And one that we missed. Tried to get that goal scorer in the intermission, but unable to do so. We're going to get a cross-checking penalty here, though. Devin Maya in on a Beaches player. Or is it going to be Stephen Lee that gets this penalty? I think it's Lee going off right now to even things up. 4-on-4 now, for real this time, with 1 minute left in the penalty carried over from the first period. They also still have Mitch Gustafson in the box serving his 10-minute misconduct. From the top, a shot straight down the pipe. Diving, scoring in one motion, picking up the rebound. That is a beautiful goal for the Beaches by Skylar Thomas. 4-on-4. Man, second opportunities have been massive in this game, especially in the net to our left. And Briley Miller's going to ask for tape here. As the initial shot from up top, Corson Keeley, took it. Skylar Thomas realized the rebound was coming in one motion, picked it up out of the crease, takes flight, and it gets in behind Kyle Hebert. That is a pretty goal, although it narrows the deficit to only 5-2. Still with work to do here in the period, but a lot of time left as that only took 53 seconds here in the second. There is Jackson Brown, as we said, coming into the game, a 2-0 record, 3.5 goals against average. For those of you that put stock in point streak values, although some nights you can allow four goals off 4 shots in point streak. But so far, pretty good goals against average for both of these goaltenders. Callum Jones running over the Beaches face-off man over on the far side. And Toronto awarded possession, nearly threw it away as it's recovered by Mike Byrne. And Clark off the bench now. Thomas to the left side. They got Jack Kelly on the right. Kelly looking for Clark, had it bounce out of his stick, and a 2-on-2 battle ensues to the right of Briley Miller. Beaches player falls there as Austin Redding continues to dig for it. All of that on Toronto's shot clock, which now expires, and we get a turnover. Down the far side, Fulgenzi, only player with a black bucket. As we said, the AP from the Oakville Buzz, who are putting together a great Junior B season of their own. Their final Junior B season as they'll move up to A next year. Interception here by Boucher, but he's all alone. His line was making a change. The other half were already down the floor. As Boucher hangs on long enough to get Callum Jones out there. Now a full change. As cutting through the middle was Damon Curry. Hunter Lemieux back up top for Boucher. Bushi dumps it into an empty corner with 3 on the shot clock. And that'll let the defense make their swap. 2.5 gone in the period. 15 seconds remains. Now 10 in the Toronto Beaches power play. Josh Dawick up top. Kelly collides. Here's a shot from Keeley in on Briley Miller. He's immediately looking to the door. And Kashalk wasn't aware that the penalized player was behind him. And Stephen Lee gets collided with just after he let go of that ball. He may be hurt here as he comes off. He took a high stick. And Lee is going to get attention from the trainer. Meanwhile, far side, Stephen Lee sets the pick for Lanchbury. He walks through, takes the shot off the pad of Brown. And a penalty shot awarded here by Brent Colombe. Was that touched? By Nishimura with the glove in the crease. Someone from the floor having to take this, as back at the red line, Stephen Lee having words with, I believe, Curtis Conley. Ryan Smith will take the penalty shot as Nishimura touched it. In the crease as Jackson Brown was about to make the save. Words between the benches still continues. And Ryan Smith gets set as they announce the penalty shot. There it is, Smith over to the right side, just off center. Quick shot, and I believe that was shot wide. Not sure that Brown got any piece of it. And we remain a 5-2 game. Three minutes and 8 seconds left, or gone rather, in the second period. 3-goal deficit now. As we go back to the face-off dot after the penalty shot. And it's one cleanly straight to Cam Myers. Myers going for a run here. Again, Gustafson still in the box, serving that 10-minute misconduct he picked up in the dying minutes of the second period. Should be out in about 2 minutes, I think. It was about 4 minutes and 50 seconds, if I remember correctly, in that first period remaining. And he owes the game 12 as Thomas puts it in the corner. Callum Jones, a big hit there on Nathan Brennan. Rebound picked up, though, running the floor, Matt Anderson. Anderson to his wrong side, takes the shot. And crouching over top of that is Brown to make another breakaway save, fast break save anyways, for the Burlington Chiefs. Dan McRae, the head coach, his second year. And if you've seen the way that he plays the game, no surprise that this is a fast-running team transitioning from the defense. Whereas Glenn Clark, the head coach of the Beaches, no real surprise that defense and goaltending setting up to be their specialty this year. From the far wall, Ryan Smith passing here to Curry. From out of the corner, the lefty circling Nate Braniff. Late shot there from Bushi. He took a hit, but nothing egregious enough to draw a reaction. This is the fourth home game for the Beaches already, and we are roughly halfway through the Junior A season. Pardon me, a quarter of the way through the Junior A season, with teams playing 5 games already. But when the Whitby Warriors come to Central Arena on June the 6th, that will be the 5th out of 10 home games for this Burlington club. Josh Dawick over the middle. He tried to pass into the corner. It was intercepted there by Jacob Saunders, pardon me. Lanchbury over the line. 5.5 gone in the period. Gustafson getting ready to make his way back on the floor. as, Hunter Lemieux comes in, takes a shot, and Brown is going to cover up over the loose ball. Pretty good crowd given the heat in this building, but spread out pretty good here in Burlington, of course, with Toronto in. About, I would say, a 40-minute drive along the Gardner-QE combo, depending what time you leave. As Cashall with the intercept. Quick down the floor for Lanchbury. He's got Maya with him. The shot. Brown with the save. And, oh, my, that's a bad hit right there as down goes Lanchbury well after the play. And Maya looking for a response from Cam Myers as everybody now going to come in, and we've got ourselves a scrap down in the corner. Yet to see any punches thrown, just a wrestling match in the corner here between Maya and Myers. Now Maya gets the right hand free, and Myers goes for the takedown. And those are two tired players as they come out. That was a wrestling match. So we restart here after that brief scrap. 5 and a game each for Maya and Wires for their tilt, and nothing for the hit on Lanchbury, which I think is what the bench is discussing after that fact. Callum Jones lowers the shoulder into a Beaches player now reaching for it in the crease. Jones wants to have a word with Taggart Clark there. But it will be as Hunter Lemieux reaching for the ball. He interferes with the Beaches defender, Marcus Minicello, and now Toronto brings it as far as the red line. Stepping up, Austin Redding, a big chop for good measure as the ball's brought into the offensive zone by the Beaches. On the right side first. Looking for help, Tristan Hanna. I believe that's the first time we've called his name, as this will be pushed. Interference against the Chiefs. They were going for the crease violation there. And Callum Jones too much on Taggart Clark. Shot, I think, surprised Briley Miller a little bit off his shoulder. Again, a while since he's seen a shot. Skylar Thomas. Back to the near side, though. Through Jake Kelly. Josh Dalwick spins and fires a sidearm shot into Miller. Rebound sat dormant right by the crease. Beaches didn't want to put their sticks in and touch it, so Callum Jones flies through, and it rolls into the corner. Brady Kiernan looking for it, and it will now be picked up by Jones, and he unable to cleanly find Dylan LaPrade down the floor. Off LaPrade's stick and out of play, so the Beaches will come back with possession here, trailing by 3, led by a explosive first period run by the Burlington Chiefs, who trailed 1-0 and then responded with 4 unanswered in that first frame. We've gotten 1 each again here in the second, as Burlington tries to set up and do it again here in the middle period. Smith tries to reach for that. It falls down on the floor, and Gustafson had a 10-minute misconduct earlier in this period, carried over from the first. Gets it back over the line. Skylar Thomas again. Offense seems to flow through him a lot on the shooting side on that left side of the floor. Here's Kelly. Thomas pushing the ball forward to Nathan Grennan. And away from Grennan, pass wide of the net. And the Chiefs will cross center, nearing the halfway mark of our second period. 5-2 in favor of the Beaches. Smith, far side for Bushi. Return back, Curry. Austin Redding into the corner for Trevor Barrett, as Bushi sets a pick in front of Smith. That opens up a shooting lane. Bounces off a couple players before finding its way into the stick of Jackson Brown, pardon me. Riley Miller steps to his left and makes a left shoulder save. Rebound out to the far glass. Nishimura the first one there. He's still on from the defensive side, so leaves in favor of Josh Dahlwick. Now Clark. Over to the left side. Tons of room and time for Corson Keeley to let one go. Riley Miller the save, fresh 30 now for the Beaches as they recovered the rebound and picked up by the Chiefs. Bit of a juke step there from Matt Anderson, who brings it down the floor for Nate Braniff. Braniff back to the wall. Curry. Smith up top. Far side, Lanchbury around his back to Smith. What a pass. Shot there from Brown, and a crease violation called by the official all the way up at the red line. And down the floor, all alone. The bench doesn't like that either, as Tristan Hanna's got his first of the night. Quick restart as everyone was arguing the crease violation. Picked up and launched down the floor where Tristan Hanna, the reception, and he was all alone in front of Riley Miller as the Beaches are clawing their way back into this one. Now closing it to 5-3. Well, Jenzy and Gustafson, the first time they've squared off at the dot since that 10-minute misconduct to Gustafson. They both picked up roughing minors on the same play. Nothing more that time, though, as Thomas finds a man on the crease, gets shoved down, as that forced the shot wide to go up out of play. 8.5 remaining now in the period. Lemieux off the bench into traffic, and the pass slapped away. Now down the floor, Josh Dahlwick, first one out, and he's going to score in transition off the bench. Dahlwick with his second of the game now. Pat Kashock went back and said something to Riley Miller, and it looked like he was coming to the bench. But he does stay in the cage. Couple goals on quick transition. Thought the ball got stuck in the stick of Gustafson earlier. That time it did for sure. And it hands the Chiefs possession. Off the faceoff, Bushi. Nate Braniff getting it down for Damon Curry. Now all five have touched it as it gets to the far side. Braniff has its return back. Steps into a sidearm shot, and he will score. The first in some time for the Beaches, who just as the Beaches were within one, Burlington now regains a 2-goal lead, 6-4. Conley pushing ahead. Nishimura had gone through the crease, so he's unable to touch it. It is recovered, though. John Gutenberg is the trainer for this Beaches team. The shot there, Riley Miller casually came to his right to make that save, and it's going to come all the way down the floor. Kashoff going over the top of Corson Keeley. They call him Johnny Zamboni. And he absolutely loved when these road unis came out for the Beaches, the blue and yellow. And it's the Toronto skyline on the bottom rim as well. I know there's a jersey pull happening right now. They're in the Final Four in the OLA. I think that covers minors, but anyways, Johnny Zamboni, a big fan of these road navy and yellows. Comes a shot from Bushi that goes off the glass. That one coming through. I believe it was Braniff who shot it right into the midsection of Nick Ellerton. He doubled over, and that is now slowly making his way to the bench as he ate one right there. Ellerton's going to check. That might have hit him in the helmet, actually, as a loose ball play. Austin Redding from his seat of his pants to Lanchbury. And Ryan Lanchbury, that's his first of the night. Gives him 10 on the season. But how about the assist from Austin Redding? Thought there was interference, but Redding kept the play going with the ball in his stick from his back right into the stick of Lanchbury, who comes across and scores the 7th Burlington goal. So after a bit of a mini Beaches run here early in the period, as Fulgenzi and Gustafson do battle again, Burlington pulls back with the last 2 goals and now regain their 3-goal lead with 6 minutes left here in the second period. Up top for Jack Kelly, a sidearm rip in on Miller. Rebound up for grabs at the top of the fan. Big chop there from Thomas on Anderson. Matt Anderson, the 2-on-1 back for Fulgenzi, can't handle it. Off the stick of Jack Kelly. Burlington had left one man back. Sure, they're not going to get beat by the fast break again, as there was 2 Beaches players. And staying back on defense, Jacob Saunders, ensuring there was no goal and keeping possession in the hands of Burlington. Shot clock down to 8 seconds though, as Lemieux sends it towards the crease. Oh, how does that go in? From the crease, a very awkward angle as Damon Curry fires it to the far side. And I think that's Lanchbury again, his second. As another one where the ball starts to go east-west across the floor and ends up on the far side, reaching over the goal line, forcing Brown to go cross crease. As now Dylan LaPrade back to the face-off dot. Something he did a lot in Barrie, but was second in line behind Liam Patton. Gets a chance here. And wins it for the Chiefs as Lanchbury behind his back to Bushi. And Barrett. Now Braniff. Killer Bees out there for Burlington. Shot from Braniff comes in, and Brown there to make a pad save. Gustafson quickly down the floor for Toronto. And another pass that skips away from the Beaches though, as the errors by this Toronto squad have really started to force their defense to play extra minutes here. They've got 4 left in the period, and Toronto does trail by 4. Now a mistake by the Chiefs turns into a breakaway for Nishimura, and trailing, I believe that was Callum Jones, the perfectly timed stick check. Either him or Ryan Lanchbury, both of them sprinting down the floor. Jones had come off the bench. I believe it was Lanchbury that got the final swing in. And now Bucci will go to the far boards. Turns it back for Curry. Nearly turns himself out of his shoes. Curry, a skip shot. Brown not sure where the rebound is, but then gets it under his stick. After that first period and the first couple goals here in the second, the coach is talking about rebound control. Josh Dawick shoots around a defender. Ball goes all the way down the floor. Must have hit off the post as they reset the shot clock. Here's Tristan Hanna. And Dahlwick now. Dahlwick the feed there for Nate Grennan. And Grennan with the goal. Somehow that sneaks through Briley Miller. And Grennan will get one back here in the final 3 minutes of our second period. Some more nifty passing in front of the net. Grennan the beneficiary to make it 8-4. As this loose ball off the faceoff makes its way all the way in front of the timekeeper's box. Burlington player falls in the crease, has now come through the crease. And still no call. Thought there was an initial crease violation and then maybe being called going through the crease to fight for that Lucy. Toronto back with it. Dahlwick a low shot, goes off the backboard, straight to Skylar Thomas. Big hard pass was looking to return for Dahlwick again, and it was just too high for him to pick up. Beaches quickly sending their defense down the floor. Chiefs are slow bringing the ball into the attacking zone though, halfway through their shot clock. As it'll be Boucher looking to get it to Hunter Lemieux. That one tipped. And Lemieux chases it all the way back to the red line. 5 on the clock. As Boucher flips to Smith. He goes over the top, takes the shot in on Brown. Rebound drops in front of his crease, and he'll push it up towards the forwards. Spinning around the defense, getting to the net. The shot from Owen Grant. Ends up dropping down for the Beaches. Grennan grabs Callum Jones, and Jones with a word for Grennan, who yells a parting shot to him. Hidden ball play here. Burlington bench screaming that it's on the left side. Arm save made by Briley Miller, and Josh Dahlwick couldn't get towards that loose ball. Gustafson, he was headed back on defense as that shot was taken, so he's in perfect spot to pick up this ball. 20 seconds left. Calling for it, Kelly, he scores. The whole way down the near side, Jack Kelly was calling for that ball. He had the stick high, wanted it, and as soon as he got it, let the shot go. That Briley Miller unable to get to his right-hand side quick enough. And now it's an 8-6 game in favor of Burlington. Face-off cleanly won over Nishimura. Nearly had it cleanly. Stumbling down the far side, Pat Kashoff finally taken down by the quadruple team. Still had it in his stick though, shovels it back towards center. And now the offense taking to the floor. Lanchbury will throw it back for Boucher, who stumbles. And Smith, the offensive specialist, down there back to play defense. Steps up on Nishimura, who turns, fires high. 30 seconds left in the period as Burlington's going to take over. Can't take down the shot clock, but they will call the timeout anyways. And there's a discussion about it over in front of the Burlington bench. But it will be Burlington timeout. 8-6 is the lead with 26.7 left in our second period. Riley Miller will be on the bench for this final Chiefs possession. About 3 seconds in between the game and shot clock as they reset it to 28 coming out of that timeout. Chiefs will take this all the way down as the shot clock gets down to 10, now 7. Here's Lemieux. Smith over the top, takes the shot. Brown, it's caught up in his gear in the crease, looking for it down the floor. 2, now 1 as the forward slips on the floor. And our second period will end 8-6 in favor of the Chiefs. They're still riding that big, fast first period where they led 4-1, 8-6 now after 2. Third period comes next. You're watching Ontario Lacrosse Association Junior A action on the JVI Sports Network. Third period set to get underway here in Burlington Central Arena. Between the Burlington Chiefs and the Toronto Beaches coming into tonight tied atop the OLA Junior A standings. It is an 8-6 lead for Burlington. And it will be the Beaches who will control our first possession. Taggart Clark bringing it over center. Clark for Skylar Thomas, a beautiful goal in that second period, diving across the front of the crease after picking up the loose ball. 5 on the clock now for Toronto, and a Burlington defender able to get the stick on it as the shot clock goes. So a few times tonight we've seen that from this Beaches team, blocking or tipping shots and passes, and part of the reason why they've been able to jump out a couple times to pretty good transition opportunities. Over the top by Austin Redding. As he goes around the corner, takes a shot down the pipe. Looked like it hit off the face mask of Jackson Brown. Tristan Hanna up top. Off to his right side for Nathan Grennan. Grennan with one already. Another shot here that Briley Miller saves and sends into the corner. Rebound picked up by Phil Mazuka, though, for the Chiefs. He'll find LaPrade, who will now give to the offense, who's taking to the floor. Top guy will be Damon Curry. Boucher will slide over now as Curry crashes into the middle. Smith working around a pick. Back for Boucher. Boucher's shot saved by Brown, picked up by Smith. He had a couple good opportunities right in front. Brown making the save. Curry. Round a defender who slipped. And then Curry, a big time hit. Everyone was watching that as the ball bounces in behind Jackson Brown. And that'll be the 9th goal here for Toronto, 9-6. I believe it was Smith on the crease picking up the errant shot. Lemieux and Boucher. Didn't sound like Ryan Smith, who they credited that to, but so it looked like anyways, coming over the front and making that quick shot. From the near side, here it is, another interception by Burlington. Moving pick as Callum Jones took Josh Dahlwick out of the play, though. Otherwise, Jacob Saunders was off to the races. Had one defender with him. It was Jack Kelly, who can definitely hold his own. Pardon me, Tristan Hanna. Still would have been a decent track meet, but moot point is now Briley Miller makes a save. Bounces back for Stephen Lee. Lee in a jousting battle with Minicello in behind the play as Burlington. Lanchbury through the middle takes a shot before the Beaches defense can get set up. They're very comfortable in the set position, but we've seen tonight that Burlington making things difficult as they come in with speed. First time we've called the name of Julian Gay, the former Burlington Chiefs defenseman. wearing a Beaches uniform this year. Skylar Thomas. Jersey's tucked under the kidney pads, but you can tell by the red head on the stick. Has another interception, though, as Phil Mazuka down the far side. Hannah right there with him, and Hannah able to joust that ball free. Hannah will push down the floor, and now Chase. Send it to the far boards where Mike Byrne will get there. We did have a scrap in that second period as well, as another save is made here by Miller. Corson Keeley, his shot saved. On the run, Kelly, a low shot. Another one that Miller gets a piece of. Callan Jones sends Keeley back to the floor. And finally, Burlington able to pick it up and carry it out of harm's way. Devin Maya and Cam Wires. An early exit in that second period. 5 in a game for fighting as Smith will pick this up into the corner. 6 on the clock. Lanchbury sidearm to the far side. Shot there falling was Hunter Lemieux after a hit. Rebound still up for grabs. Comes all the way outside. Tristan Hanna grabs the shoulder pad of Trevor Barrett, it looks like. And I think Hanna very lucky to just get an interference call. Somebody's lost a wheel there, it looks like, as the shoe gets chucked in front of the Beaches bench. Smith into the middle, and the Chiefs are going to get another quick one, their 10th. And I believe Hunter Lemieux has his second. Lanchbury getting a lot of high fives down there as well. If it is Lemieux, that'll be 4 players now with 2 goals on the night out of the 10 scored by the Chiefs. 5 minutes gone in this third period. 4-goal deficit now for the Beaches in this battle for first place. Again, Whitby also tied with 8 points in the OLA standings. And then a logjam of teams that have 6 points in the standings in behind that, including Brampton, Orangeville, KW, and Mimico. Still very early, however, in the OLA standings. We went right down to the final 2 games of the season last year, determining who would be in the playoffs and what seeds they would get. Burlington could have finished 7th, 8th, or 9th coming into their final game of the season last year. Here's Bushi over to the far side. Big collision as Nate Braniff went down, and then they award it to the Beaches. Racing off the bench down in front, I believe this is LaPrade. It is, as he gets it over the blue line. Took a couple whacks as he was headed down as well. Absolutely no help here for Braniff, so he's just going to wait for the change to be completed. Lemieux trying to reach out of the corner, ends up throwing it into the screening. Couple Burlington players arguing it was off a Beaches player. I don't think there was any hope of them winning that argument. Hunter Lemieux, another player who was an AP last year. Ends up full-time on this roster now. Picked up down the far side. And again, this time Austin Redding gonna wait for reinforcements as Barrett around his back to Curry. Now Bushi, Lanchbury. Barrett has it again. Skips away from him. Barrett taken into the boards. Pick from Lemieux comes. 5 on the clock as Lanchbury gets it back. He has Bushi in front of him. They've got a player down in the crease, and the 30-second clock will expire as again Lanchbury hit right as the shot clock sounds. Dangerously close to the boards. Not nearly as egregious as the one we saw earlier, which started that tussle with Cam Wires and Devin Maya. Thomas, meanwhile, down the far side. A stumble there. Slipped for, I believe, Nishimura. Either that or Curtis Conley, I'm not sure, who is slowly making his way to the bench. Here's Smith with 8 minutes gone in the period. Pace starting to pick up, going back and forth here between these two teams as Smith takes the shot. I was just about to say not much in the way of goals as Ryan Smith, we've got him anyways, completing his hat trick on that play. And making it 11-6. All common sense would dictate that with the bench close to the net to our right for Burlington and the net to our left for the Beaches, that second period was the better one for the Beaches as they took advantage of that short offensive change. But it seems to be like the Burlington Chiefs are more comfortable when they have room to run. Their defense really starting the transition breaks. There's a shot from up top. It is wide from Taggart Clark. As Burlington, bit of a hidden ball play up top. It was between Lanchbury and Curry. Curry actually kept it. And now gives for Braniff. Back for Bushi. Bushi, Lanchbury into the back of Matt Duncan, who goes down. And we get a screen, illegal screen, pardon me. As Grennan will bring it in. Line of Burlington Chiefs right in front of the top of the fan as they try and shoot from the far side through the legs of Miller. Goes up the floor on the run, finding clean Phil Mazuka. Mazuka to the net, and then gets bowled over and tackled afterwards. He was called for the crease violation as the ball was loose. Upon his arrival, we may get a wipe down as Brent Colombe checks the floor. Quick sidearm release there from Kelly. Callum Jones picks it up. If we were going to get that wipe down, it probably would have been right now, but they don't. Haven't had one yet in this game as we're about to hit the halfway mark of the third period. Lemieux fakes the pass. He was in the stick of Barrett the whole time as Lanchbury now has it in the corner. Going back to Lemieux. Lemieux shooting. Pardon me, a hard pass here for Smith. Off a body though, bounces straight to Owen Grant. Grant will head off as ball was pushed to the far side. Grennan has to reach high to accept that pass across the width of the floor. Grennan passing back all the way up top through Clark to the far side. A low sidearm, a low angle shot, I should say, gets through the legs of Miller. And we get a bit of a stick battle in behind as Jacob Saunders having words. Shot angle goes all the way down past sidearm. Quickly from the left to the right side of the floor, and it beats Miller with 9.5 left to go. Tristan Hanna, it sounds like, getting credit for his second of the night to make it 11-7. Got another oil slick straight down the middle of the floor. Ryan Wilson checking now. Looks like they're going to let that one go as well. Over far side, there's an offensive switch right in front of the ball carrier. And quickly into the boards and spinning away is Stephen Lee. one of the alternate captains for the Chiefs team this year. And he'll push ahead for Curry. A few seasons now we've been watching Lee here in Burlington as Boucher has it. Boucher, far side, Smith with room, turns back and shoots just wide as there was only 5 on the shot clock. Now trying to beat it again, the quick stick to Boucher, and the shot clock stops with 1 second on it, as that one will count. Now 5 players with multiple goals. The only goal scorer without scoring 2 is Trevor Barrett. Ryan Smith has a hat trick for Burlington. That's how you get your 12 out of the 7. Beautiful quick stick on the crease by Boucher. Clean face-off win, far side. Crashing into now a triple and quadruple team is Mitch Gustafson. Gustafson trying to kick it ahead, does so, and it's going to be Mike Byrne with the clean possession, but his pass trying to stretch the floor ends up getting knocked down, and it'll be Burlington ball as they again go hidden ball as they come off the floor. A couple players faking like they had it, including Boucher. The whole time it was in the stick of Damon Curry. Lanchbury now behind his back to Boucher. This is Curry, now Boucher and Barrett. It's down in the corner, and the Beaches will muck it long enough to get the shot clock violation. Well, go time, you would think, for this Toronto team, trailing by 5 with 7.5 left in the third period. Skylar Thomas pushes it up top. Thomas taken all the way out towards the boards by Callum Jones. Spinning back is Grennan. Back to Thomas, and Grennan's the double team they put on him, popped the ball free, and Mazuka's there to get the defensive rebound. Braniff, Lemieux into the corner, Smith quickly getting it back. Down low, Lanchbury turns and fires, and a player right in his face, unable to follow through cleanly. As it looked like Owen Grant. And Toronto quickly up the floor, though, in transition from the far side. They'll get a quick response. Bit of a limp here, it looks like, afterwards. Wonder if a few players aren't cramping up at this point, as I think that's Nishimura. Found it in transition and gets it past Miller to make it 12-8. Just under 7 minutes left. The deficit now 4 for the Beaches. Gustafson taking exception to Saunders chasing him all the way outside. Saunders has done that to a few players in the past couple minutes. Up top for Kelly. Shot clock still ticks down. The patience there by, I believe it's Corson Keeley. We're going to get a goalie water break here. It's either, I believe it is Corson Keeley, who had all kinds of time and took it to go around over the top, a couple fakes once he got close to the net to put it in and make it 12-9. Momentum on the side of the Beaches right now. Both benches actually being warned here, as this is a goalie water break. And on the water break, players aren't supposed to go to the bench, but both benches did, mostly for a change, but then just stood there. Nishimura has left the bench, where I believe he's getting treatment. It does look like a cramp for Nishimura. Skylar Thomas tries to put this through the middle. It's intercepted by Callum Jones. He'll run in front of his own bench and now take it out to a free spot on the floor as Jones fakes the flip, and goes across the floor to Damon Curry for real. Smith, now Bushi. Bushi, far side, Curry, straight down through the middle. The shot forcing Brown down to his knees was Nate Braniff. Beaches still trailed by 3, 5.5 left. Tiptoeing in, a huge collision there. Kelly then takes the shot that goes wide. Drops right down into the stick of Corson Keeley though. Keeley down to a knee. He's got LaPrade on him. All the way back up top, Brady Kiernan to the far side. Hannah trying to fake through 2 defenders, and the last hit forces the ball free late in the shot clock here. Beaches let one rip, and it's off a body in front. And Burlington with 5 minutes left will slowly jog it up towards center. Burlington with 1 loss so far on the season. Both of these teams only 1 loss. As a moving pick, will give it to Toronto. And down into the crease, making contact with the goaltender as well as the post. And I think Callum Jones is going to get the gate here, as he made contact with, I think that was Jack Kelly. Either Kelly or Julian Gay. I saw a 4. Mitch Gustafson wants an explanation. 2 minutes roughing is the call against Callum Jones. 4:44 left. Glenn Clark vying for, I think, a penalty shot. It will be Jack Kelly starting this power play. Right side now, Kelly from Dawick. Kelly will take the shot, and Briley Miller stands in. Rebound drops in front of his crease. Picked up by the Chiefs. They come up over center, 2-on-1, led by Pat Kashalk. And Kashalk had Bushi with him, elected to take the shot. Goes off the backboards, down the floor. It was on a bounce, looking for Kelly, and Stephen Lee was down the floor, and he's going to corral it. 4 minutes left, and a 3-goal lead. Chiefs are on the power play, 15 seconds left in their shot clock. As Bushi will drop the shoulder, stays all the way up at the blue line, and I'd be surprised if the Chiefs even attempt a shot here, as they will just roll it into the corner. Owen Grant quickly runs into it though. And now Dawick with Kelly and Hannah on the right side. They come back with Keeley and Kiernan on the left side. All 5 have touched it now. Is again Kiernan tries to go in behind the net to get it to the left side of the floor from all the way up top. That's Dawick with the shot that Briley Miller makes the save on. More words in behind the play as that was Kiernan taking exception to something. Saunders, the ball carrier, on the far side. Him and Matt Duncan. 10 on the clock as Saunders takes the shot. Saunders and Duncan still tied up. Penalty box opens. Callum Jones is back out there. 2 minutes and 40 seconds as Saunders dumps his man, the bench, yelling for another penalty, but it's not going to come. 2.5 left. Beaches need 3 here to tie. Shot from Kelly off the backboards, bounces out to the blue line where Thomas gets it. Kelly leaves it. He's going to go far side for Hannah. He goes outside, and Stephen Lee right nearly into the face, it looked like. As part of me, that's Taggart Clark. And it'll be 2 for cross-checking. As Lee was lining up for the big hit and actually went high a little bit on Clark. So another 2-minute penalty here late in this game against Burlington. Beach is unable to capitalize on their first power play. We'll see what they do here. Again, 12-9. They need 3. 3 for the tie. They've got 2 minutes and 17 seconds with which to get there. Thomas, Hannah. Clark ends up in the corner. Here's Thomas again around his back. Into the corner on the left side. Skylar Thomas to Hannah. Brown bit on the fake. And Beach's Army to capitalize as he gets back in there. Another quick shot. Miller quickly to his left. Makes the save. Thomas far side in the corner. It's it back for Clark. Hannah. Thomas the shot. And it's a right arm save this time. Made by Briley Miller. Minute 43 left. Thomas. I think that hit the stick of Saunders on its way through as all the momentum was killed as Jones tries to get it up over center. They're on the 10-second count are the Chiefs, and they will get it across the red line. Minute 5 left in the power play. Minute 20 left in regulation. 12 left in the Burlington shot clock. They're not interested in that. Got to watch the white line as they can't go back over. As Bushi looked like the Chiefs trailer there may have gone through the crease as the ball arrived, but it will be Beach's possession anyways as Josh Dawick will chase it down towards the far boards. Fakes the flip to Hannah. Now gives to Kelly. Kelly and Dawick. Hannah in the corner. Looking to thread the needle again and go into the near corner for Brady Kiernan. Couldn't handle it cleanly as Dawick goes back to Kiernan on his wrong side now. Goes to the backhand. Miller with the save. Saunders taken down. It's bouncing off a couple of sticks there. Saunders throws it over his shoulder and down the floor. 30 seconds left in regulation. Looks like the Burlington Chiefs are going to go 5-1 to start their season. As the Beaches quick shot. Beaches will have 2 more this weekend as they get Six Nations and Brampton. And Burlington's next home game against Whitby, Wednesday, June the 6th, 8 p.m. All games here at Central Arena. What a battle we had here tonight on the JVI Sports Network. Reminder to subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Twitter at JVI Video. As the Burlington Chiefs are victorious, your final score, 12-9. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our producer, Gary Morrison, our director, Ryan Harkness, my name is Matthew Carrick. Thank you so much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to you next time.